Good evening. This is All India Radio. I'm Gaura Dhawanlal and with me is Aditi Lumba with the evening news. The headlines. Both houses of Parliament adjourned for the day following ruckus by opposition on Pegasus snooping, farm laws and other issues. IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnav reiterates government stance on Pegasus snooping, says media report attempted to malign Indian democracy. Union Cabinet approves production-linked incentive scheme for speciality steel with incentives of 6,322 crore rupees. Cabinet also gives nod to establishment of a Central University of Ladakh with a cost of 750 crore rupees. Over 41 crore 78 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. National COVID recovery rate reaches 97.35%. India says it supports the government and people of Afghanistan in realizing their aspirations for a peaceful, democratic and prosperous future. Tokyo gears up for opening ceremony of Olympic Games tomorrow. All India Radio, Doordarshan and DD Sports make elaborate arrangements to cover the event. And in cricket, third and final one-day international match between India and Sri Lanka to be held in Colombo tomorrow. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also to help others in getting vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and to continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-239-78046 and 1075. And now, the news. Pegasus snooping, farm laws and other issues rocked proceedings in both houses of Parliament today. The Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have both been adjourned for the day following a ruckus by the opposition. In the Rajya Sabha, when the House met after the second adjournment at 2 p.m., Electronics and IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnav rose to make a statement regarding the compromising of phone data of some persons as reported in the media. TMC members rushed towards him and tore the statement copy. However, the minister tried to make a statement with another copy amid the ruckus. Members from the Congress, TMC, DMK, Left and others were in the well protesting over issues including the Pegasus snooping and farm laws. YSR Congress members were also in the well demanding special status for Andhra Pradesh. This led to the adjournment of the upper house for the day. After adjournment, there was a heated argument between TMC and BJP members. Earlier, the House witnessed 2 adjournments over Pegasus snooping, farm laws and other issues. A similar scene was witnessed in the Lok Sabha when the House met after the third adjournment at 4 p.m. Members from the Congress, TMC, DMK, Left and others again trooped into the well, raising slogans against the government over the Pegasus snooping, farm laws and other issues. YSR Congress members were demanding special status for Andhra Pradesh. The presiding officer repeatedly asked the protesting members to allow the House to function, but they did not pay heed. Later, the House was adjourned for the day. Earlier, the House faced 3 adjournments on the same issues. At 12 noon, amid noisy scenes, the Inland Vessel Bill 2021 and the Essential Defence Services Bill 2021 were introduced in the House. In the morning, as soon as the House met, members from the Congress, TMC, DMK, Left and others trooped into the well on the same issues. Opposition members had given adjournment motions over the issues. Amid noisy scenes, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla tried to run the question hour. He repeatedly urged the agitating members to go back to their seats and allow the House to function, but the protesting members continued their sloganeering.
Minister for Communications, Electronics and IT, Ashwini Vaishnav, has said that a sensational story around Pegasus being published just a day before the monsoon session in Parliament cannot be a coincidence. He said this press story on Pegasus, done by a web portal, on the 18th of this month attempts to malign the Indian democracy and its well-established institutions. In a statement in the Rajya Sabha today amid a ruckus, Mr. Vaishnav said in the past, similar claims were made regarding the use of Pegasus on WhatsApp.
The press reports have appeared a day before the monsoon session of Parliament. This cannot be a coincidence. In the past, similar claims were made regarding the use of Pegasus on WhatsApp. Those reports had no factual basis and were categorically denied by all parties, including in the Supreme Court. The press reports of 18 July appear to be an attempt to malign the Indian democracy.
Facebook, Google, Twitter, LinkedIn, WhatsApp and other significant social media intermediaries, SSMI have appointed Chief Compliance Officer, Nodal Contact Person and Resident Grievance Officer in India following the new IT Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code. They have also started publishing monthly compliance report as mandated in the new rules. This was stated by Minister of State for Electronics and IT, Rajiv Chandrasekhar, in a written reply in Rajya Sabha today. He said after the enforcement of new rules, microblogging site Twitter was initially non-compliant, but subsequently they appointed Chief Compliance Officer and a Resident Grievance Officer as a contingent arrangement and have also informed the Ministry about physical contact address in India. It has also published the compliance report of June 2021. Mr. Chandrasekhar said, in case of non-compliance with the rules, the intermediaries, including SSMI, shall lose the exemption from liability under Section 79 of IT Act and Rule 7 of the above said rules becomes applicable. The BJP today slammed the opposition for creating a ruckus in Parliament over the Pegasus snooping issue. Briefing the media in New Delhi, Minister of State for External Affairs Meenakshi Lekhi said 10 countries have been named in the spyware issue, but the opposition in other countries have not reacted the way India's opposition has. She said these kind of stories are floated to undermine Indian institutions and stop data protection that is set to become the law of the land.
Data protection is going to become the law of the land, and this is directly connected with that. This is to undermine the Indian institutions, that these kind of stories are floated. This is to desensitize public on the credibility of the structures when rights of Indians and democratic structure is involved, and to malign the image of country that these acts are depended upon by the opposition.
Ms. Lekhi said the opposition members snatching papers from the minister while making a statement in Parliament is something which has never been seen in country's democracy. Union Minister Anurag Thakur today said agencies do their job and government does not interfere in this. He was replying to a media query during cabinet briefing on raids against 2 media organizations. He also said that one should have complete information as there are many issues arise which are far from the truth.
The Union Cabinet has approved the Production-Linked Incentive PLI scheme for specialty steel with incentives of 6,322 crore rupees. This will be provided over a period of 5 years. Briefing reporters in New Delhi after the Cabinet meeting, Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur said this scheme will boost the production of high-grade specialty steel in the country. The scheme will cover coated or plated steel products, high-strength or wear-resistant steel, specialty rails, alloy steel products, steel wires and electrical steel. Mr. Thakur said any company registered in India and engaged in the manufacturing of the identified specialty steel grades is eligible to participate in this scheme. He said the decision will boost exports and minimize dependence on imports for high-end steel.
स्पेशलिटी स्टील प्रोडक्शन लिंक इंसेंटिव स्कीम के अंतर्गत लाकर इसको 6,322 करोड़ रुपए की आज मंजूरी दी गई है। इससे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग को बल मिलेगा, आयात कम होंगे। This will attract investment close to the tune of 39,625 crore rupees. It will create more than 5.25 lakh jobs in this sector. It will cut down the import burden. There is a cap as far as the incentive is concerned. Per group, it will be capped at 200 crore rupees. It will fulfill the requirement of the country.
This will also bring in an investment of approximately 40,000 crore rupees and has a potential of generating over 5,25,000 jobs. The Confederation of Indian Industry, CII, has welcomed the production-linked incentive scheme for specialty steel. In a statement, CII President TV Narendran said the decision will boost investment in the high-grade steel sector and drive global competitiveness of Indian manufacturers. DGCII, Mr. Chandrajit Banerjee, said the decision shows the government's commitment towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. He said this visionary initiative for the steel sector, where India has a global competitive edge, will lend more strength to the entire value chain. The chairman of CII Steel Committee, Mr. Sheshagiri Rao, added that the initiative will give a fillip to investment in R&D and technology. Mr. Rao said the stipulation that the steel used for making specialty steel should be melted and poured in the country will strengthen end-to-end manufacturing within the country. The Union Cabinet has also approved the establishment of a Central University of Ladakh with a cost of 750 crore rupees. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had promised this during his Independence Day speech last year. The Information and Broadcasting Minister said this university will address regional imbalances in higher education and create an intellectual environment within the society of Ladakh. Mr. Thakur said the university will promote overall growth and development of Ladakh and will be instrumental in strengthening democratic values.
केंद्र शासित प्रदेश लद्दाख में 750 करोड़ रुपए की लागत से सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी की स्थापना की जाएगी और इसकी स्थापना से जहां एक और उच्च शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में क्षेत्रीय असंतुलन को दूर करने का प्रयास होगा, क्षेत्र में बौद्धिक विकास को सहायता मिलेगी और इसके साथ साथ लद्दाख में सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी की स्थापना से उच्च शिक्षा का प्रचार प्रसार होगा, छात्रों को उच्च शिक्षा के अधिक अवसर मिलेंगे। ये सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी वहां पर अन्य शिक्षण संस्थानों के लिए भी एक मॉडल का कार्य करेगी, वहां उच्च शिक्षा की क्वालिटी में सुधार होगा, इससे लद्दाख क्षेत्र के सर्वांगीण विकास में भी सहायता मिलेगी।
The bill in this regard will be introduced for amending the Central Universities Act 2009. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said in a tweet that today's cabinet decision will ensure the all-round development of Ladakh and provide a range of opportunities to the dynamic youth there. Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Minister Narendra Singh Tomar today reiterated the government's stand on the three farm laws, saying the laws are beneficial and are in favour of farmers. Talking to the media outside Parliament, Mr. Tomar said the government had discussions about these laws with the farmers' organizations. He said the government is ready to discuss the farm laws point-wise.
India has administered over 22,77,000 vaccine doses to eligible beneficiaries in the last 24 hours. With this, more than 41 crore, 78 lakh vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Union Health Ministry in a statement said that the country has reported 41,383 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. The country's active caseload is currently at 4,09,394. The active cases constitute 1.31% of the total reported cases so far. A total of 38,652 patients also recovered from the infection during the last 24 hours, taking the total recoveries to more than 3,4,29,000, and the recovery rate is at 97.35%. In the last 24 hours, 507 deaths were also reported. External Affairs Ministry today said India's domestic vaccination program has been continuing at a rapid pace. Replying to media queries, Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said India has been in touch with the various partners regarding possibility of import of vaccines to supplement domestic production. About the approval of WHO from Covaxin vaccine, Mr. Bagchi said Bharat Biotech had submitted its request along with all necessary documentation to WHO earlier this month. On Covishield recognition by the EU, Mr. Bagchi said more than half the EU member states have already recognized Covishield. He further said India has been taking up with foreign countries the need to ease travel restrictions of Indians. He said this easing will be an important step towards economic recovery post-COVID for all the countries. The spokesperson said there have been some positive steps in this direction of easing restrictions. He hoped more countries will continue to take steps towards normalizing the movement of people from India. Dr. S.N. Kuril, pediatric surgeon at the King George Medical University, Lucknow, has said that children should be imparted COVID-appropriate behavior to take the third wave of COVID-19 pandemic. He said this while participating in the Corona Jagrukta series of All India Radio last night.
जो हमारी एडल्ट पॉपुलेशन है उसका अगर हम 70% भी वैक्सीनेट कर ले गए दिसंबर से पहले तो कोरोना की तीसरी लहर को डेफिनेटली रोका जा सकता। और यही नहीं, वैक्सीनेशन लेने के बाद भी जो बच्चों को घर पे कोविड अप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर की ट्रेनिंग देनी पड़ेगी। कुछ दिनों में ही जल्दी बच्चों के लिए सुरक्षित वैक्सीन भी आ जाएगी और तब सारे बच्चों को वैक्सीनेट करना ही एक अच्छा विकल्प होगा।
Dr. Kuril also said that though very few children have suffered from coronavirus in the country, it is necessary to follow COVID guidelines. The News Services Division of All India Radio and its bilingual live and phone program, Corona Jagrukta series, will bring you a special discussion program on COVID-19 tonight. Dr. Sarman Singh, Director, AIMS, Bhopal, will participate in the live discussion. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. Listeners can ask the expert questions on toll-free number 1800-115767 and on telephone number 011-2331-4444. One can also post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.gov.in and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on our News on AIR app for updates. The COVID helpline numbers are available on our website www.newsonair.gov.in. The Health Ministry today clarified that no ventilator has been kept in the inventory by the centre and every lot of ventilators which is ready for dispatch is being dispatched to the states and union territories promptly. A media report had recently alleged that the centre kept 13,000 unused ventilators during second wave of COVID. Health Ministry termed this as baseless and said the observations and interpretations drawn in the article are not based on facts. The Department of Pension and Pensioners' Welfare has issued orders today for increasing the dearness relief to pensioners and family pensioners of the central government with effect from 1st of July. 3 additional installments of dearness relief to pensioners, which were due from 1st of January 2020, 1st July 2020 and 1st January 2021, have been frozen in view of the unprecedented situation due to COVID pandemic. Now, the government has issued orders to increase the dearness relief to pensioners and family pensioners to 28% of the basic pension. You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. Reminder of the headlines before we move on. Both houses of parliament adjourned for the day following ruckus by opposition on Pegasus snooping, farm laws and other issues. IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw reiterates government stance on Pegasus snooping, says media report attempted to malign Indian democracy. Union Cabinet approves production-linked incentive scheme for specialty steel with incentives of 6,322 crore rupees. Cabinet also gives nod to establishment of a Central University of Ladakh with a cost of 750 crore rupees. Over 41 crore 78 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. National COVID recovery rate reaches 97.35%. India says it supports government and people of Afghanistan in realizing their aspirations for peaceful, democratic and prosperous future. Tokyo gears up for opening ceremony of Olympic Games tomorrow. All India Radio, Doordarshan and DD Sports make elaborate arrangements to cover the event. And in cricket, third and final one-day international match between India and Sri Lanka to be held in Colombo tomorrow. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे. The External Affairs Ministry today said India supports the government and the people of Afghanistan in realizing their aspirations for a peaceful, democratic and prosperous future where the interests of all sections of Afghan society are protected.
Briefing the media, Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said India-Afghanistan bilateral relations are guided by the Strategic Partnership Agreement, which was signed in October 2011. He said the External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, had emphasized India's long-term commitment to the development of Afghanistan at the Afghanistan Conference 2020 held in Geneva. On the abduction of the daughter of an Afghan diplomat in Pakistan, the spokesperson termed the incident as shocking.
This is, of course, a very shocking incident. It involves two other countries, that's Afghanistan and Pakistan, and usually we would not comment on it. However, since the Interior Minister of Pakistan has dragged India into it, I would only like to say that even by their standards, Pakistan's denial of the victim's account is stooping to a new low. As regards the security of the Indian High Commission and our personnel in Pakistan, I would not like to get into specific security-related measures.
Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla today met President-elect UNGA and Maldives Foreign Minister Abdullah Shahid in Delhi. He conveyed India's support to his leadership of the 76th UNGA as India looks forward to working with his team under his Presidency of Hope.
Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Thakur has urged people to make a video with their friends and family members and share it with #Hamara Victory Punch in support of Indian athletes representing the country in the Tokyo Olympics. Mr. Thakur said people can make the video and tag it to 5 people and invite them to share the videos to show their support for the Indian Olympics team. He also appealed to people to make Cheer for India a mass movement.
इंडिया इंडिया ये है मेरी टीम और ये रहा टोक्यो ओलंपिक्स में हमारी टीम के खिलाड़ियों का मनोबल बढ़ाने के लिए हमारा विक्ट्री पंच आइए टोक्यो में इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे भारतीय एथलीट्स का मनोबल बढ़ाए आपको करना सिर्फ इतना है अपने दोस्तों के साथ अपने परिवार के साथ अपनी टीम के साथ इंडिया को चीयर करते हुए हमारा विक्ट्री पंच वीडियो बनाए आगे 5 लोगों को टैग करिए और चीयर फॉर इंडिया को एक जन आंदोलन बनाइए.
Mr. Thakur, along with many other MPs today, showed a victory punch as they cheered for the Indian athletes participating in the Tokyo Olympics. They assembled in the Parliament House complex and showed a victory punch to encourage the Indian contingent. Union Minister and senior BJP leader Anurag Thakur today said the BJP's Yuva Morcha has started a creative program to encourage the country's youth to take part in large numbers in Cheer for India campaign. The Be Like an Olympic campaign will run from 23rd July to 8th of August across the country. A portal on this has been launched today. The youth of the country can enroll themselves for 16 different activities on this portal. Listeners from across the country are participating in the Olympic quiz with AIR News. Mohammad Shamim S. of Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala was the first to send in the correct answer of the question on the 21st of July.
Thank you very much for selecting me as a winner of Olympic quiz. Last 40 years, I am a regular listener of All India radio programs. Your programs give me updated information about everything about India and sports world.
I wish all the best to Indian athletes waiting for your great performance.
Congratulations to Shamim from the entire team of the News Services Division of All India Radio. To participate in the Olympic quiz, tune into our program Sports Can at 7:20 p.m. every day. Sports aficionados across the world are eagerly waiting the start of the Summer Olympics in Tokyo from tomorrow after a year-long delay due to COVID-19 pandemic. The mega quadrennial global event will kick off with a highly anticipated opening ceremony tomorrow from 4:30 p.m. Indian time. However, the event to be held at the newly built National Stadium in the Japanese capital will be scaled down and a low-key affair amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The ceremony will have none of the usual splendor and fanfare. As the biggest sports event of the world, the 32nd Summer Olympic Games is set to open in Tokyo tomorrow. All eyes in India are glued on country's 127-member strong contingent to prove their mettle. This is India's biggest and also the strongest contingent ever at the Games. India will compete in about 85 medal positions across 18 sporting categories in the rescheduled Summer Olympics. We take a look at the country's medal prospects in the most prestigious sporting event of the world.
The biggest sporting carnival is now just few hours away, and Indian athletes have prepared rigorously to qualify in huge numbers for this year's event and to ensure they give inspiring and memorable performances to their fans back home. Shooting is expected to bring the most number of medals for India at Tokyo, followed by archery, but there are strong contenders across many other disciplines. We begin with one of India's most promising medal prospects, world number 1 pugilist in the men's 52 kg category, Amit Panghal, who is spearheading the strong Indian boxing contingent. Ever since he won the National Boxing Championship in the 48 kg category in 2017, his career has been on the rise. Star pugilist Mary Kom is one of India's flag bearers in the Olympics this year and is another medal prospect for the country. She has several international medals to her name, including an Olympic bronze in the 2012 London Games. Competing in the 49 kg category, Mirabai Chanu became the first Indian weightlifter to qualify for the Tokyo Olympics on the basis of placing second on the absolute ranking list issued by the International Weightlifting Federation. Given India's performances on the global stage, shooting is a promising discipline for India. Shooter Saurabh Chaudhary is representing India in 2 events, men's 10-meter air pistol and 10-meter air pistol mixed team. He became the youngest gold medalist at the Asian Games when he won the gold medal in the 2018 Asian Games. In the 2021 World Cup in Delhi, he won medal in all the 3 categories he competed in, 2 gold in the team event and a silver in the individual event. The mixed team pair of Saurabh Chaudhary and Manu Bhakar is expected to win a medal for India. The pair won silver in the team event in Croatia earlier this year and has enjoyed much success in the World Cup over the last few years. Ilavenil Villarivin and Divyansh Singh Pawar are also a pair to watch out for in the Tokyo. Ace shuttler PV Sindhu is the Rio Olympic silver medalist and will want to do one better this time at Tokyo, given her biggest competitor, Spain's Carolina Marin, has withdrawn due to injury. Deepika Kumari, who is now the #1 archer in the world, is the lone female Indian archer to make the cut for the Tokyo Olympics and is now coming off a hat-trick of gold medals in the recurve event at Archery World Cup in Paris held earlier this year. She will also compete alongside Praveen Jadhav, Atnu Das and Tarundeep Rai in the team event. Star javelin thrower Neeraj Chopra has been incredibly consistent in the Olympic year, routinely throwing the javelin around the 85-meter mark and holds a very good chance of making a podium finish. Indian men's hockey team is ranked #4 in the world and may just be India's best chance yet to finally end a 4-decade-long wait for success at the Olympics. And in the end, India has pinned high hopes on 7 wrestlers who have secured a spot in the Tokyo Olympics, but the brightest medal prospects in the contingent are Bajrang Punia and Vinesh Phogat. Swati Rakheja, AIR News, Delhi.
All India Radio, Doordarshan and DD Sports will do a mega coverage of the 2020 Olympics. The coverage spans pre to post Olympics and will also be available on the digital platforms of Doordarshan and All India Radio. In cricket, a buoyant India will go for a clean sweep when it takes on Sri Lanka in the 3rd and final one-day international match at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo tomorrow. The match will start at 3 p.m. India have won the first 2 matches to seal the series. And now, before we close, the headlines once again. Both houses of Parliament adjourned for the day following ruckus by opposition on Pegasus snooping, farm laws and other issues. IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw reiterates government's stance on Pegasus snooping. Says media report attempted to malign Indian democracy. Union Cabinet approves production-linked incentive scheme for specialty steel with incentives of 6,322 crore rupees. Cabinet also gives nod to establishment of a Central University of Ladakh with a cost of 750 crore rupees. Over 41 crore 78 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. National COVID recovery rate reaches 97.35%. Tokyo gears up for opening of ceremony of Olympic Games tomorrow. And in cricket, 3rd and final one-day international match between India and Sri Lanka to be held in Colombo tomorrow. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.